Okay, here's a good question. Could you explain perichoresis, or it's also called circumcision? Could you explain perichoresis in the Trinity? Not sure if I spelt that correctly. Sorry, you didn't, bro. But looking for a good explanation. So if you want to, let's see if I can spell it. Perichis. Oresis. Oh, I spelled it right. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that's right.
Let's go. Okay, perichoresis. So if you want to read more about it, that's how you spell it. I'll put it in the chat, and then for those who are watching later, I will put it up on the screen right there for you. Or it's also called circumcision, and this is the Latin version of it. Circumcision. It basically means like perichoresis kind of means like dancing around, going around. Circumcision kind of means like inner penetration. But basically, what it means.
Indwell.
Who said something? I heard something.
I said or indwelling.
Indwelling. Okay, or indwelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the idea is you know the traditional example that I use for the Trinity, which is basically you have your lake up here and you have your stream going down, and you have your pond down here, and the lake up here, the main source or fount of the Trinity, is the Father, who begets the Son, through whom the Spirit comes to be. The communication of the divine essence in that way is like the communication of water in that way, and you have the points, the termini. Um, so circumcision actually shows the weakness of that analogy right there, um, because really, with the water example, you kind of have a communication of specifically the same substance. So it's the same species of substance. So you have a communication, like for me and my son, I'm communicating humanity to my son, but we're only specifically identical. I'm communicating a different humanity than I am to my son. But when it comes to the Trinity, there's a communication not only of specifically the same divinity, but numerically the same divinity. So the Father communicates the self same divinity that he has to the Son, and they share the self same divinity. So, like, if we go back to our water example, if you could just imagine for a second, if the lake could give and share precisely the same water it has with the stream, that would be a correct example. And of course, because the water is material, that wouldn't work out. But when it comes to the subtle, simple, and infinite divine essence, obviously that could be. There's nothing repugnant, at least, to two persons possessing numerically the same divine essence. So, what perichoresis or circumcision is getting at is that there is an intimate mutual indwelling that's going on with the persons. They're not just like kind of separated out and apart from one another. Rather, there's a pure, perfect, and complete communion between the persons of the divinity. Um, and then that of course that communion we will share in one day in the beatific vision. So yeah, that Astro, anything to add?
Yeah. So, and with that being said, there are three ways in which persons are in each other. So the first is by way of essence, by way of origin, and by way of relation. So persons are in each other by way of essence, insofar as like Father communicates his own essence to the Son, and since Father is his own essence, it follows that Father himself is in the Son. Second way is by way of relation. The relation of paternity includes filiation, and filiation paternity. So both of their formal concepts are included in one another. So in that sense, Father is also in the Son, and the Son in the Father, and the same applies to the Spirit. And finally, by way of origin, in which the one who utters the word that is uttered by the origin, right? The word is not outside its origin. So the word, although it's uttered by the Father, it remains in the Father. So in that sense, it doesn't leave him, it remains in the speaker. And the same with the Spirit. The love that proceeds from the Father and the Son does not go outside them, it remains in them.